Yeah, I guess I'll just start the countdown. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're back on. Alright. So, we're just gonna keep doing the scratcher cards until we find the stones again. And also, I'm glad that I was able to get a lot more sleep than the last few nights, because I know what's gonna be happening once we hit Sky, and I'm definitely gonna need a lot of brain power for that. But yeah, basically, children's gambling game. But yeah, I'll be able to keep checking essentially the second and third scratcher cards for any of the evolution items, although the third card will give it a lot more of the time than the second will. Also, I just realized, how in the world did I get over into the corner? I think I was moved while I was asleep last night by like one of the Pokemon, and they moved me into the corner here. I've never actually seen this before. Oh, I see. Yeah, on the really, really long-thon side, you can't actually see both screens. Yeah, in most cases, you don't really need to see the other screen for the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. In this particular case, it's gonna make it seem a little bit weird. Frozen Rock, I don't need that. But yeah, essentially what I'm doing is I'm looking at each of the different Scratcher tiers, and I'm trying to find those 4 specific items that I mentioned earlier. And so it shows like the 2 possible rewards from each tier, and I can reset them by just doing like the tier 1 scratcher, because it will reset all 3 when you do one of them. Yeah, so far nothing too interesting, so I'm just reloading most of them. The only other item that could be kinda useful is the Joy Seed, which, if I can get that, that'd be pretty cool. So, okay, so I don't need leaf stones, I found out. So dang, that means I've seen three leaf stones so far, and I haven't seen any fire stones yet. Also, hey Pika. But yeah, right now I am gambling Grim. But yes, we need to find 4 items, like I was trying to talk about before. We need to find 2 fire stones, the shiny stone, and the moonstone, and it's all for evolutions, because we don't actually have many more Pokemon that we need to get in this game anymore. So we just need to get those. And yeah, whenever I'm just trying to, like, cycle through a card, ideally, I just want to, like, fully lose the card. Kind of like this. I definitely fully lost this one. But yeah, that is correct for the Piloswine to Mamoswine. Luckily, I was able to recruit a Mamoswine straight up, so I don't even need to worry about that condition. Yeah, no, I'm totally doing the gambling just because why not? It's not actually important. Totally don't need to evolve the rest of my Pokemon. Although I do hope that I can get a Firestone soon. Yeah, I guess since I'm probably going to be on the screen for a while, I should probably go through what I have left to do in this game, since we've definitely got a bit of time to do so. Because there's really only a couple things I need to do left for this game. First is find those 4 evolution stones. And then I need to evolve those Pokemon. Don't need that. And so I've already found 4 of the items that I need. So I found the Mossy Rock for Leafeon, the Dust Stone for Chandelure, the Sunstone for Whimsicott, and the Link Cable for Gigalith. So, if I wanted to right now, I could go and evolve those 4 Pokemon, but I'm waiting until I finish up my gambling first. And then once I've done all of that, I still need to level up, evolve Rufflin into Bravery, and Dino into Zweilous. But that should be pretty simple too. So that would take care of most of the Pokemon on here, which means there's only 2 left, Cobalion and Terrakion, which only show up as a random mission on the board to go and fight them, which I've been looking for a little bit, but I haven't found either of them yet. They should end up showing up kind of soon. They only start to unlock at Royal Rank, but hopefully hopefully it won't take me too long to find him. And also Gacha Cheese. We'll see it later then. Yeah, the reason why the gambling strats are actually very nice compared to what we did before is, before, there was, like, a couple of different methods that we had of getting stones, and this one definitely was not even considered before. We had to do this minigame called Bear Tick Slide, which is extremely difficult with the touchscreen controls, and it was extremely frustrating, and it was super slow to get any, like, items out of it. And it was very difficult to cycle, like, the items compared to this. There's also another minigame that's kinda... it's completely based on luck as well, called Sunken Treasure, where it gives you the chance of these black boxes, but they weren't ever really giving anything from them. Frozen Rock again. Oh, and also the BRT Recruit 'em all went pretty well, actually. I mean, considering I got like a 37, maybe even a very, very high 36, depending on how slow I was at pausing my timer that one night. Oh, that's alright. See you 149. Oh, also, yeah, when the new Mystery Dungeon comes out, I will definitely be running that. That's for sure. The problem is, the new Mystery Dungeon game came out an hour into this marathon, so I haven't even been able to see the game yet, because I've only been doing this, and hearing about it, or sleeping, so I haven't even really, like, gotten to see it much. But yeah, almost there indeed, Predicate. Like, gates should not take too much longer, it all just depends on how lucky I am with gambling at this point. At the very least, as soon as I find the items, I can save the game and I can keep reloading that card. So, if I find an item, I'm getting it. It's just a matter of finding the item. Yeah, I haven't even seen the trailer. I want to see it, like, after this is all done. Oh, you can transfer that data from the demo? Interesting. Also, is that what they did? Dang. Actually sounds pretty sick. Also, okay, so I need to get more money now. So, yeah, I don't know how I got here. I'm pretty sure I got moved by the other Pokemon. Which is interesting, because I've not really had that before. Another Joy Seed. I really do want to get one of these Joy Seeds if I can, because that'll make evolving the Rufflet into Bravery just a little bit easier. Also, yeah, I made sure that the commands that were for BRT and Sky were disabled. Although I don't know if Castform is. That one might still be there. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely worth using all my money on. That's for sure. Compared to, like, trying to go for the black chests or whatever, it's so much better. Better odds, much faster. A lot less frustrating for the most part. Also, you guys and those two commands, god dang. Those have been disabled for, like, literally months at this point. And they keep getting brought back up. Oh, I guess that's still up. Funny. I mean, it's not like it's gonna do anything. You can't exactly go there. Well, I mean, you could go there, but nothing's gonna play there. Oh. Also, Satan, thank for the resub. And you can also choose 4 more names to be put towards Sky. Actually, how many Sky names are left now? Also, hey Warning, and hey Skylar. But yeah, we're definitely getting pretty close to done with gates. Just gotta get 4 more stones and 2 more challenge letters, and that's really about it. At least for, like, the randomness. Everything else I have a decent amount of control over. Also, yes, I will be putting it all on YouTube. Especially because unless gambling takes more than like 5 hours at this point, I should be able to get world record for the gates recruit them all as well. And of course the BRT one hadn't been done unrestricted before, so that was like a guaranteed world record. Sky most certainly will not be because my run's pretty decent, and I'm also naming all the Pokemon there. But Super will also be a PB for me no matter what, so. The only thing is, I'm technically doing a different category, so it'll have to go under like a miscellaneous thing. Because for Super, we're doing just strictly the Recruit 'em all, and not what's defined on speedrun.com, which is 100%. I mean, I could just, like, do that stuff at the end of the run, I guess, but we'll see. Also, yes, timing is by gameplay time. So you have like a certain amount of rest breaks that you can take. But yeah, it's mainly because we don't, like, these runs are long, these runs are fun, but they shouldn't be, like, trying to stay up for the entire 9 days of this, just to do a speedrun is kind of absurd. And it doesn't really, like, it doesn't really showcase, like, the skill, I guess. Which is complicated to say when I'm just doing gambling right now, but yeah. Exactly. Healthy but long runs. That's definitely the best way to put it. Yeah, like, I understand the RTA stuff, but I also do... I do much prefer going by, like, a more sleep break oriented standard now. And we have not found the shiny stone yet, no. Once we do, we can start saving for it. And yeah, that's a pretty fair way to put it. And yeah, exactly. Like, RTA is great for a lot of runs, but some runs are just a certain length that, like, you kind of have to change the rules for them, because there's a lot of, like, multi-day runs that really should not be done without sleep. How's the day? Still haven't found any of the stones yet, which is too bad. We were actually having pretty decent luck with it last night. But yeah, exactly. And there are indeed segmented runs. Ooh, nice, I got the Joy Seed. I need to talk about my gambling problem. You see, the stones. It's either a gambling problem or a bear tick slide problem. And I don't know which one would be worse in this case. The best mystery dungeon game to play, not speedrun for a first timer. Well, honestly, any of them are pretty good to start out with. Like, if I were to rank them story-wise, I'd say Sky has the best story, and then Super is very close behind it. And then Gates to Infinity, and then Blue Rescue Team. So I'd say either starting with Blue Rescue Team or Gates to Infinity is probably the best. Because a lot of people start out with, like, Explorers or something, or they go from Blue Rescue Team to Explorers, and they enjoy the series. And Gates makes some interesting changes to how the games go, but if you go into Gates with an open mind, you can get a thorough amount of enjoyment out of it. Because it's definitely a fun game, it just changes a lot of the mechanics that I don't think people were ready for. And also, the text speed is very, very slow, so when you're playing, like, any of the other Mystery Dungeons games, and then you're looking at this text speed, that's also got to be pretty off-putting. That's how it was for me when I first started playing this game. But eventually I like gave it more of a chance and I did more runs of it, and it's honestly got my favorite, like, gameplay in the entire series. As well as some of my favorite tracks from the entire series as well. Including the one that's playing right now, because you can actually, you can unlock music as you progress through post-game. And so I decided to play my favorite track from the entire PMD series right now. Oh yeah, so Red/Blue Rescue Team. Which is the one they're actually remaking right now. And yeah, BRT and Sky are pretty similar. There's definitely, like, some specific mechanics that make it, like, different to a veteran, but yeah, for the most part, they play pretty similar. So if you're good at one, you can typically be pretty good at both. But yeah, Gates and Super definitely each have their own, like, unique set. Because Gates is, like, kind of an intermediate, also, like, showing off much more random and extremely long dungeon layouts, as well as, like, introducing being able to go through your partner and still attack. Also, like, team attacks, and like the weakened A attack and all that stuff. And then Super has like alliances and Emras and like, you know, Mega Evos. So definitely quite a bit. Also, hey Lucian. And yes, yeah. There's a new Rescue Team Deluxe game that's coming out. And so that'll be pretty fun to eventually play. So honestly, if you, when you're going from 2D to 3D movement, it definitely can be tricky to get into it at first. Like, it took me quite a few runs to actually get used to it, but I will admit, it does actually have its own rhythm to it. Like, it is pretty fun once you actually understand how to do it. Well, maybe the remake. I still don't really know for certain, because I assume it's probably going to be pretty good. So, like, if you wanted to check out, like, if you want to check out, like, how the series started, you could always just check out the original Red Blue Rescue Team. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, I'd probably recommend starting out with either Rescue Team. It can be either the original or the remake, or Gates to Infinity, and then proceeding from there. Because I think that is usually where people get the most enjoyment. Because, like, you understand, like, how Mystery Dungeon works from these two games, while also being able to appreciate, like, all of the great things about these two games. Because when you start with Sky or Super, like, with Sky, it's, like, the story is amazing. And with Super, the mechanics are very, very different compared to the rest of the series. So when you start with either of those games, it can be pretty tricky to actually get into the rest of the series. Just because of either high standards or just, like, the gameplay is just very different. But yeah. You cannot link moves in Super. You also can't do it in Gates. I'm amazed they're bringing back linked moves for Rescue Team Deluxe. And there's actually not really any strats on choosing where to scratch. I'm just doing it randomly. Okay, sorry about that. Had to do with a cat. So, let's do this. Also, if somebody was able to figure out, like, which spots, which spots were actually the best, like, mathematically to choose for the scratcher cards, that'd be pretty cool. Because for the most part, I'm just doing the top row each time, unless, like, it's actually something I want to get. Yeah, we're definitely getting pretty close to being done with gates. What color's my cat? Black, actually. And I have 2 black cats. But one likes to come in here a lot more than the other. And usually I'd be fine with that, but he likes to eat my cords and turn off my power, so... Also, this is a physical old 3DS with a capture card. I'm doing all 4 of the PMD games on, like, legitimate consoles. Which I got this 3DS capture card pretty recently, and I've definitely gotten a lot of use out of it already. You know what RNG is the true bane of, though? Stadium speedruns. As my chat would probably know. Yeah, it really is. Also, okay, so what is... Ooh, wait. No, I don't need Thunderstone, dang it. Also, yeah, Skitty's abilities are pretty interesting. Because it does have some pretty good stuff. Also, yeah, they've nerfed Dragon Rage because they've, like, ever since this game, actually. I mean, they obviously had to nerf it from BRT because it did 65 in that game, which is nuts for a fixed damage attack. And it's also ranged, too. It's just insane. Actually, maybe Dragon Rage was insane. It might have just been Sonic Boom. Also, dang. Okay, at the very least, I'm starting to see those evolution items, so that's good. I just wish they weren't evolution items that I don't need, because 2 fire, I need moon, and shiny. Link cable. And I believe so, because you definitely can't do that in, Gates and Super. I'm trying to remember about Sky. I don't think you can do it in Sky. How did I end up choosing Pokemon Misty Dungeon to be my thing for speedruns? So... Ultimately, what happened was... Like, in 2013 or whatever, maybe 2014-ish, and just watching the VODs, I saw, like, the AGDQ 2013 VODs, and I thought like the speedrunning stuff was pretty cool. So I was thinking like, okay, I kind of want to try this out, but what game should I actually play? Because like a lot of these runs seem really hard, and like so much stuff to learn. Don't know how I'd be able to like actually do anything in them. So I was just looking through all the games I had, thinking like, alright, which of these do I actually know pretty well? And, wait, Waterstone. No, I don't need Waterstone. Dang it, I'm finding so many of them. Yeah, anyways, I was just looking through my games, and I came across Blue Rescue Team. And I was like, alright, you know what? I will try this one out. And so back then, I was doing, like, I think I did, like, only a couple of attempts at it. With the, like, this was before Save and Quit was even a thing. Like, I didn't know there was a community. I was just doing it, like, offline with, like, using my watch as the timer. And just, like, playing through the game as quickly as I could with Skitty and Squirtle. Like, the strats weren't really all that much back then. It was just kind of play through the game. There's certain things you have to do. Other than that, just go. And so I was doing that category, and I think I eventually got my time down to like maybe 3:14 or something. I don't know, but regardless, like nothing too amazing, and I had no way to record the DS screen. So I just kind of gave up on it after a while and moved on. Fast forward like 3 or 4 years to summer of 2017. I decided to, like, I don't remember what the cause of it was, but I just decided to look back into the PMD speedrunning stuff, and I learned that there was this new RNG manipulation thing, where if you quick save on the first floor of a dungeon, you can figure out all of the layouts after that. And while I didn't know necessarily how it worked at the time, I knew how to do it. And so I just started learning that route, and slowly getting better at it, until eventually I was starting to get like more and more consistent times that were actually getting pretty close to world record. So I kept just doing that. Eventually got like a 207, then a 205, and then finally my first ever world record with a 204. And then from there is just history. Been playing PMD ever since. And I've definitely been on and off of it, because I go through a lot of different runs right now, mostly Pokemon. But I definitely always come back to this one. But yeah, no problem. It could be interesting to have a PMD world record progression. Like, for BRT after a certain point it might not work too well. But at the very least for Sky, I think Sky would work actually really well, just because, like, the competition in that one's definitely been pretty good. And it's actually had like a lot more world record trades than just me beating my time over and over again and calling it world record, because that's basically what BRT is right now. Because yeah, I mean, sometimes the game's just like that. Although, now with DX coming out, I can definitely see like the possibility of more people running like the original Blue, and that'd be pretty cool.
It's already happening.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Sick. Yeah, I haven't actually looked into Discord in a while, but yeah,
I've seen like 2 or 3 new runners come in.
A. But also, this is Cheese, because I'm just in a BC. Yes, I have not even gotten a single stone since last night.
Oh boy. Wow, the RNG parts of games are really, they're really RNGing.
Mhm.
Well, I guess it's a shame. It appears I will most likely not get to commentate most of Sky any percent. So I hope you have fun explaining what all the items do.
I will attempt to do so, or I will have Rob do it.
Yeah. Also, hello Karma, hello Kick, hello Finn. Thank you for hugs. I appreciate hugs. Cheer! Oh, you were cheering.
Oh, I can turn cheese up a bit.
Okay, hello everyone, I'm Louder Cheese. Disclaimer, making cheese louder comes with certain risks. Such as the jump scare from Toto Senpai being more scary.
Alright, hopefully that'll work.
Louder Cheese, I don't think I'm that loud usually.
So right now I'm just gambling for evolution items, but none of them are showing up just yet from these cards. So I just have to keep cycling the cards over and over, just by like doing one, and then it cycles them all. Oh wait, am I
This
out of
is
money?
the fastest known way to get evolution items in this game. It can still be this tedious because the evolution items seem to just be kind of rare-ish.
Oh my god, I'm actually out of money again. What in the world? I went through an entire 10,000 without getting a single item.
Oh no. How much money do you have left?
Oh, definitely enough.
Okay.
I've still got 40,000 plus a lot of things to sell.
Okay. Right. Obviously, worst case scenario too, if you were to God forbid it take this long, if you were to go down to the last like 10k, you could just save with that much left.
Yeah, or I
Kind
can
of
just
do it.
like sell all the gold ribbons I have, because I have a lot of gold ribbons.
Yeah. Kind of do things like Spinda's Cafe style with PMD 2, where it's like we only have so many resources, we'll just save scum to keep them.
That's true.
How are you gonna pay for a taxi to get home now? With all his gold ribbons.
We also are at home. We just have our own personal gambling place in our house, apparently. Or at least in
the
our
ticket
land.
value make a difference? I think it's only the highest valued ticket that can even produce an evolution item. And whom can see what prizes will be on them on the touchscreen before he picks a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll always take the cheap ticket whenever there's nothing, just to cycle.
But yeah, I believe the ticket value does make a difference. Like the final, like there's 100 tier, there's 300 tier, and there's 500 tier. And 300 can produce one, but it seems to be less often than the 500.
Oh, I didn't even know 300 could.
Yeah, I've definitely seen quite a few. I actually got, I've gotten a few of them already from 300.
Oh, okay.
Nice, another
I've
joystick.
learned more. Yeah, the only reason whom will take a 500 ticket is if he sees a joy seed like this, and he got it. Pretty worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it's mainly just worth it because I need a little bit more on, oh, Thunderstone?
Oh, I didn't even know stay away orbs were in this game.
Also,
It's
yes.
weird to see some of the cruddy orbs from Sky in here.
So Cheese speedruns all the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games as well.
Hi. Yeah, I mainly specialize in Sky and Super Mystery Dungeon. Though I did recently get a 3DS capture card for Gates. And I do, begrudgingly speedrun Blue sometimes. And I'm extremely excited for Rescue Team Deluxe. So much so that I never had an HD capture card before, but I bought one now.
Oh, so you did buy one? Nice.
Yeah. Or rather, I'm going to. I still haven't actually sat down to do it. I might not until you're done with this, because I'm going to be probably spending like an hour deciding which one I want and which one might work for me.
Fair enough.
I have quite the limited rig. I hope I can get one that will work with my PC. Otherwise, I don't know what I'll do.
Also true. When we say all the PMD games, we mean the English ones. We don't necessarily count WiiWare just because, like, it's Japanese exclusive.
Yeah. There are ways to get that game through hacking, I think, but we'll get there another day. What are the HD cap card options other than Elgato? There's also Avermedia, or Avermedia. I don't even know how to pronounce that. That's what I'm looking at. That's what Cruel says he uses and has recommended. And then there might be higher end options that are more expensive too. But from what I can tell, people streaming Elgato, it tends to look fine enough. I'm just slightly afraid of technical issues. I've seen some people using Elgato having technical issues.
Also, yeah, at least in the Pokemon community, that's a pretty big thing. But I'm also fine with it being split between, like, English and Japanese, because having to, like, play the Japanese version for these games means we'd have to learn a lot of Japanese.
Yeah. Only a few English runners have ever really wanted to bother to do it for PMD.
Yeah.
Like with Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, the language makes a huge difference because of all the text scrolling. And the text scrolls one character per frame. Japanese text has a lot less characters. So it's really ridiculous when you boot up PMD2 and just compare Japanese text speed to English text speed. But it's so much more difficult to play in Japanese for an English runner that we much prefer to main English.
Yeah. But even still, like, we've both, like, put up certain Japanese times. Like, I have the world record in like, the main any percent category for Japanese Blue Rescue Team. Not by a whole lot, just because, like, my run wasn't amazing, but it did get frustration.
I did a little... There was a little while where I was messing around with Explorers of Darkness, the Japanese version. I only ever finished one run, and it was extremely bad. And I couldn't even get another run to do well past, like, the early game. So it was short-lived. I still want to toy around with that game more, though, because I'm kind of fascinated by the differences between Time and Darkness. One really strange thing I think I figured out, though, is I swear the Japanese version of Time Darkness has a much higher enemy spawn rate. I swear. Because almost every single room I spawned in for, like, the entire run would have at least 2 enemies in it, if not 3 or 4. That happens from time to time in the US versions of Explorers, but not all the time. And if it does happen, that usually means basically every enemy on this floor spawned right next to you, and then it'll be clear after you're done with them. But in the Japanese version, they just keep coming. So it's weird, actually. Time Darkness, I'm pretty sure has a gameplay difference, too. So I only barely got a faster time in the Japanese version than my English time. That's probably an even bigger reason I haven't really come back to it yet. But I also just want to focus more on my English runs, which pretty much all of which I want to do better on still. And for the record, no, we don't have to learn Japanese to play the games, but it's still pretty tricky to remember what each item is, because that's what we do have to figure out. We have to figure out how to identify items at least.
Yeah,
and if we're doing a no Wondermail run, we have to identify missions too.
How's Gates going? It's going alright. It honestly is mostly down to gambling at this point, which unfortunately...
Yeah, Gates is gambling. Gambling to infinity.
Yeah, unfortunately I'm not getting too lucky. I was getting a lot better luck last night.
Well, Fresh, there are other ways to get evolution stones, but trust me, they're far more boring than this.
And they are much more frustrating. Like, it gets bad.
Yeah, there is Beartick Slide, but it is extremely hard, and just to cycle the prizes, you have to win one. Alright, see you later, Grim.
Orities.
I also feel like this ordinarily wouldn't take this long necessarily. Yeah, prior to being told about the scratch cards, evolution stones were like the worst thing in Gates.
Well, someone has run Super in Japanese, like an English runner has. Although I don't know a whole lot about it.
I think.
Yeah.
That game, it makes so little of a difference with how fast text scrolls in that game that Liver Sticks' Japanese time is slower than his English time. Presumably, probably lost more time checking items.
Another link cable. It's also unfortunate that I still need 2 Firestones. I guess... Oh, whoops. Shiny! Wait, here we go, finally. Okay, now I can show off what I actually do here, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure that I actually did need the shiny stone.
Yeah, very important to save once you finally see the item you want, because once you see it, then you can save scum for it. And yeah, like, the scratchers are tedious for sure, but we literally had no idea how to get evolution items prior, so they were worse before. Yeah, now that item finally appeared in the shop, it's as good as Whom's as soon as he gets a good scratch card.
Yeah, now I just gotta wait to get 3 of them to line up and we're all set. Which hopefully shouldn't take too long, because I've got pretty decent odds to actually win. Not amazing, but pretty good.
So the other ways we thought of for getting evolution stones, one, supposedly Starmie's Sunken Treasure minigame had a chance to give you an evolution stone if you picked up a black chest in it. For one, those chests were very rare to even spawn in it. And then you could drop them on your way down and just lose them outright. And then even when you open them, they still tended to have nothing.
We have received.
Then there was also Beartick Slide, which, as I was saying, in order to cycle the prizes in that, you either had to beat a dungeon. Oh, hey, shiny stone hype. In order to cycle prizes in Beartick Slide, you either have to beat a dungeon for the day or win a prize, and then only the prize you want gets replaced. So it's a nightmare cycling through that. And then finally there were, I think, black chests and dungeons, which were rumored to occasionally have evolution items, but most of the time they gave us junk. And you had to bring keys into dungeons with locked doors just to try to get to those chests. Like, it was all so tedious just to even try to get evolution stones.
Maybe Ducky. I'm not sure. I'm gonna think about it once because I'm gonna do like a stream after this whole marathon is done, and like the series 80% race. And I'm curious if it'll actually like stay at that point.
I don't know what's gonna happen with the 90% series race restream, but I sense at this point it either won't happen or it's gonna be on really, really long-a-thon or something, if that's even gonna be possible. At that point, it'll probably just be you on stream. But you have WR in all 4 games, so or at least all 4 of those categories.
'Tis true. Oh, Moonstone. Nice.
Oh, did you need one of those too?
Yes, for Muna.
Okay. We're getting progress. What's happening? We were just talking about it, Shadows. You have to reset prizes in this scratch ticket shop until you see evolution stones, and then once you see one you want, you can just save scum to get it. That's what's going on. This is our fastest known way to get these items in this game. Like right now, Huma's reset spamming for a moonstone.
And yeah, exactly. This one I'm getting out of the 300 instead of the 500. That is true. It is going to be kind of strange trying to find 2 Firestones. Not impossible.
Yeah, it is really unfortunate because now you only have one item that can potentially appear that you need.
Yeah, and I need it twice, so... Oh boy. What I could do if need be, is I could get... Oh wow. I could get Flareon, legitimately.
Oh yeah.
Like, I could just go to Scorching Desert and recruit it there.
Okay, yeah, if it's actually just a recruit running around, that's probably better.
So, I think what I'll likely end up doing is... I'll try and get, like, definitely one, because I don't remember where you can get Semi-Seer. Oh, man. I'm getting really unlucky with this card. I can't even get past the first 2 scratches.
I don't think he has any fire gifts left, but...
Oh, no, I do. It's just you can't use them on Flareon.
Oh, right. I forgot the rules. They only work on free evolved Pokemon. Or Pokemon that don't evolve. But, yeah, still, just... Having a recruit just running around in a normal dungeon and gates is such a godsend because of what other stuff you have to do in so many other... for so many other Pokemon.
Hopefully it doesn't take me too long to actually just get this Moonstone. There we go. Alright, finally won.
Moonstone hype!
Okay, yeah, just... We can basically just get one more Firestone and then I'll just grind out Scorching Desert. Because that's probably easier at this point.
Yeah.
Alright, come on, Firestone. What, another Moonstone? What in the world? Imagine if I needed 2 Moonstones instead.
I know, right? That's PMD in a nutshell, everybody, by the way. And it's probably going to be at its most extreme during Sky. Some even say that's just Pokemon in general. Like, if take anything you need, it will not show up. Everything that you originally needed that you now have will be everywhere. Exhibit A. Also the link cables. Does Eevee still have Runaway in DX? Even if it does, I believe in Super Mystery Dungeon they changed the effect of Runaway to just be beneficial. I think it prevents you from getting the stuck status.
Oh, okay. That is beneficial, actually.
Yeah. They also completely changed Illuminate. Like, they wanted to change some of the abilities that were extremely annoying.
That's
It's
good.
a bit ironically tragic that they changed Illuminate because we did use it to our advantage, but...
Yeah, although... couldn't really do that in Super, so...
Yeah. In Super, it worked out really well anyways.
So what does Illuminate do in Super, actually?
What it does in Super and DX is if you use a light-producing move like Confuse Ray, the effect of the move is changed so that the target becomes a decoy.
Oh. What?
So it's like Substitute.
Huh.
So it's actually pretty deadly in its own right because of how potent it is to turn an enemy into a substitute and have all the other enemies just maul it. But yeah.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I guess the idea is they're manipulating light to fuck over whatever's in front of them.
But yes, I've been gambling for a little bit now. I've gotten most of the evolution items I need. I really only need one more. If I can get the Firestone, then I can go and recruit Flareon legitimately, and then we should be good to go. Then
Oh
I just
yeah,
kinda
that's
do
right.
some other
Adaptability
things.
exists now too. So yeah, they gave the Eevee's default ability in Rescue Team Deluxe's adaptability, which is actually a really, really good one. So
Found another Dusk Stone.
kind of forgot about that. Now that Gen 4 exists, Rescue Team starters can experience some of their Gen 4 exclusive abilities. Adaptability increases the damage that stab moves do. In Explorers of Sky, it made those moves go from doing 50% more damage to double damage. If that's still what it does in Rescue Team Deluxe, then that would be insane. That would perhaps be insane enough to make us run Eevee, which would really be something. That should be what it does. That's how it works everywhere. Okay. I only know what it does in Sky. I don't know the exact effect down to the potency in main series. How does the price of a scratch card affect rarity of Evo items? Look, man. If you buy the $1 scratcher in real life, the best prize you're gonna get is like $500 or something. But when you buy like the $10 scratcher, that's when it's like, win $5 million every day for the rest of your life. See, the evolution items are valuable.
That is actually a pretty decent way to put it.
Yeah, disclaimer, I do not advocate gambling.
Yeah, no, only gamble in gates, it's fine.
Yeah, only gamble in gates.
Or Voltorb flip.
Or Voltorb. Well, you don't even need to gamble for that, you just walk in and play.
That's true.
It's an analogy, Shadows. Even video games still have to have some amount of relatability. so that we can enjoy them. We are ruining the children. Oh no. No, we said only gamble in gates. Don't do it in real life. Only gamble in gates where you have like 10,000 gold ribbons to sell for infinite money. So you don't even gamble for money, you just gamble for, well, stones.
Pretty much.
Voltorb Flip is from Heart Gold and Soul Silver. It's what they put in the game corner. There used to be slot machines that you actually had to pay for tokens for to gamble. But Voltorb Flip and Soul Silver is just a card game you walk in and play. Remember, kids, only gamble if you have a lot of money. No.
Goddamn.
If you pick Riolu and Turtwig in Sky, you can still recruit a Skitty later, right? That's correct. Although in this very specific example, be warned that Skitty is a hard Pokemon to recruit. You have to unlock a dungeon, which I believe is locked behind Spinda's Juice Bar. And then within that dungeon, it has a very low spawn rate.
Which dungeon is it?
Happy Outlook.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. That's where Meowth and Skitty are. And they're, actually, I think Persian's there. I don't think Delcatty's there. You're probably better off getting a Delcatty from World Abyss. Although for that, you need recruit boosting items. You can just farm it with False Swipe. False Swipe does not work the same way in Sky as it does in Gates. In Sky, False Swipe is just simply a move that does a lot of damage, but won't kill. Kind of like Main Series, except in Main Series it doesn't do that much damage either, and it was meant for helping with like catching stuff. In Sky, the ways to boost recruitment chances are with hold items, an IQ skill, and being level 99. And I specifically say being level 99 because, yes, technically the higher your level, the more your recruit rate goes up in Sky, but the way they design the curve is absolutely stupid. In that you get a 5% boost from level 30 onwards, a 7.5% boost from level 40 onwards, a 12.5% boost from level 50 onwards, and then absolutely nothing until level 99, where it becomes 24.5.
It is kind of crazy that they changed it so much from BRT.
I really don't like that they did that, because that makes the no Wondermail Recruitment so much more painful. You really have to get to level 100 as soon as you possibly can. Even in BRT, I guess that was a high priority, but in Sky, it's like, you're so crippled until then. You're so badly crippled.
Yeah, I mean...
And there's no quick and easy way to reach level 100 without Wondermail.
Yeah, with BRT, we are in the same boat with that because we have to get to level 90. So luckily we don't have to get all the way to 99. But we still need to get to 90, and we don't really do much recruiting until that happens. But yeah, we have Western Cave, which gives a lot of EXP. And because BRT, you can manage it pretty well with like Articuno and Skarmory. It's actually not too bad.
Yeah. Res and Sky, getting to be overpowered enough for the harder dungeons is a lot of work. Kind of have to feed Chikorita gummies like over the course of the story just so its stats can get better, so that it can survive the harder dungeons, just so it can farm EXP. But even then, you also level up extremely slow in Sky, even when you're farming EXP that way. So you actually just have to check the job board repeatedly for gold chamber missions, and then pray that you get a gold chamber mission, which will produce a chest that has a golden seed in it, which is like roughly a 1 in 8 chance, just so you can get 1 gold seed to level up 5 times. And then to make it worse, we usually wait to even use those gold seeds until Chikorita has the Nature Gifter IQ skill, which requires 900 IQ, because then at least once you eat the golden seed, you can spread the effects of it to Pokemon you want to evolve, because there are still some Pokemon that we have to manually evolve through EXP and Sky, and obviously that takes forever too without gold seeds.
Goddamn.
This is what happens when you run that game, no Wondermail. Like, it's a fun journey, but it also it's better than I'm making it sound, actually. It's honestly, Sky No Wondermail Recruitment is still probably one of the most fun experiences I've had, even with its frustrating moments. Because it was a journey. Unlike many other runs I've done, it was just a journey.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really hard to level up in PMD2 without Wondermail. Thankfully, in the run that Whom's about to do, you're not really gonna see these woes too much, because he's just gonna be able to Wondermail in all the golden seeds he wants. He'll be level 100, like, halfway through the story.
Which is definitely nice, because being level 100 is the only way I can beat Darkrai.
Could I yell at everyone to do exclamation point boss? Alright, everyone do exclamation point boss. In Whom's chat specifically, I guess, because I don't think this is implemented in Zelna's chat.
I don't think so. Oh dang, you actually got quite a few people to do it. Good job, Cheese. Another link cable, dang.
Like I said earlier, once you don't need it anymore. You miss getting 2k points for boss during a BRT recruit. Listen, Cursed.
Whoa.
Times change. Currency needs to be updated.
You know, I hadn't really looked at my top screen in a while, but like, this Scolipede is pushing me away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
the
not.
Scolipede's trying to talk Haxorus out of this gambling addiction. And Haxorus just keeps scratching away without a second thought. Scolipede's like, Haxorus, please. You have other things to do in life.
Did you see where I was this morning when I came back?
Yeah, you were in the corner.
I was actually lost for a moment. I didn't know where I got pushed.
Oh wait, were you somewhere besides like the corner to the left of the shop?
Well, I was like pretty far to the left, so I wasn't sure. Because I couldn't see the shop on screen anymore, so I didn't know where I was.
I wonder what happens if... Well, I don't think you can get pushed into a loading zone, because it's not like they walk that far.
Imagine though. I like how the Scolipede's still just watching me. He's waiting to mush me more. Shiny stone.
He's watching. He's getting addicted to the gambling himself. His efforts were in vain. He's falling victim. We have a spectator. $255 points, the maximum you can have with 8 bits, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I am. It's been a hot minute since I've even considered Powers of 2, not gonna lie.
Yeah, we've gotten quite a few Mega Rays this stream, although I'm amazed that no Grandmasters have happened.
Yeah, Demi, that's something interesting that seems to be noticeable about Rescue Team Deluxe. The level up curves are drastically different between Pokemon now.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
In particular, I guess Chikorita levels up like crazy, but I guess her level up stats are not as good.
So who was the one that bet on the Waterstone showing up first? Because
I don't even think I've seen the Waterstone in this game before.
It's really dark blue. We'll have to try and get it during either Sky or getting close to the end of Super.
what's funny enough, Demi. Chico's only good qualities are how fast it levels and Razor Leaf. Yeah, that's what I kind of noticed. Although if you level up more often, you can still get decent stats in a way. I still wonder if we'll end up maining Chikorita and like the Recruitment all again if it gets like the friendly skill. You also may have missed Demi, though originally my projection for Rescue Team Deluxe is that we would main Chikorita. Thinking about it more, it's likelier to be something more like Bulbasaur.
Alright, see you, Grim.
It's amazing to even say that, but the logic I have is we might end up relying on something like Sleep Powder for bosses. And 2 ranged grass moves, but that's me theory crafting way too early, really.
I'm going for a Firestone. Or 2. But really just 1.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna want to try again after we get 1.
Found a Leaf Stone.
Hooray. Yeah, Topaz, it seems every evolution stone appears here.
Yes, now I can 100% confirm it because the only 2 I hadn't seen before today were the Leaf Stone and the Sunstone. And now I have seen both. And I've definitely... oh, speaking of Sunstone. But yeah, I've seen now every single stone just today, except for Fire. Which is kind of nuts. Because I've seen Thunderstone, I've seen Leafstone, I've seen Waterstone and Moonstone. I've seen multiple Link Cables. I've seen multiple Sunstones. I've seen a few Shiny Stones. I've seen Duskstone. I've seen Heart of the Sun and Heart of the Moon. And Mossy Rock and Frozen Rock. And I think that's it. So, yeah, it's just been the Firestone. And I need 2 of them.
Classic. It's like Porygon syndrome. You need multiple of them. They're the hardest thing to get.
Another Link Cable.
Funny you mentioned the Bulbasaur being immune to poison, Sally. It kind of reminds me also that I guess they changed poisoning in Rescue Team Deluxe.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I guess instead of damaging you as you walk and disabling your regeneration, it just simply does like a lot of damage from time to time, I guess. It's still very Monka-esque. Yeah, isn't it like 40 damage that it does when it does hit? That's a lot early on.
What in the world?
I don't fully understand how it works because I haven't seen it directly. I would like to think that it would do a fraction of your health instead.
That's interesting. Also, thank you for the luck 10-5. Also, so blue in this instance is I'm basically just using it to keep track of what I have evolution items for. Or actually, I can even put this one down to like, or if it's ready to evolve, which Dino is ready to evolve.
So it's more like Curse. I mean, even Curse, the way Curse has worked in PMD for a while is it wears off really fast, but it would deal a quarter of your health like every other turn. I think Poison just doesn't hit very often in Rescue Team Deluxe, but when it does hit, it's like a fixed damage. It's not a fraction. It might be fixed. We'll see.
What?
We'll see.
So it's like less reliable Frost?
I guess.
What in the world?
I can only speculate because I haven't seen it work firsthand.
Also, hey, Corn Cannon.
I guess we could see how it works by like having Chikorita Poison Powder or something. I remember trying it once just to see if Poison would damage something quickly, and after like a few turns, I just gave up. Yeah, even in the old games, being immune to poison was a nice little perk. There's a couple dungeons in the sky where I specifically... Actually, I think it's just one dungeon. There's one dungeon in the sky Recruitment where I specifically say, swap Lantern to a Pecha Scarf. Because of how annoying poisoning is in one dungeon. That's Mystery Jungle. Everything in Mystery Jungle is poison moves, it feels like.
Alright, come on, Firestone. You're the only thing keeping us... Oops.
Yeah, wow. Now that I look, you really... you just have Braviary, Flareon, and Pants... or whatever Panseer evolves into, I forgot the name.
Simisear.
Simisear.
But yeah, like I can
then
just recruit Flareon. I can just feed the Joy Seeds to Rufflet, so that is essentially ready actually. I could probably put a mark on that too, but eh. I'll do that later.
And then it's just the challenge letters.
Yep, exactly. So it's just Firestone and challenge letters. Just a bit of... But those are the only two things that are random now.
Dang. We're so close. I guess at least I got to talk about Sky a little bit. Don't you mean service fish? What is this lantern you speak? Service fish. I sometimes still call it lantern, just not very often.
I found another water stone. Are you kidding me?
Classic.
You'd think I'd find a Firestone fairly soon, but...
What is a lantern?
How late is
A
it for
water
me? It's the
electric
morning.
fishy that provides hugs and support. Yeah, it's very early in the morning for whom actually.
Yeah, I just started back up my stream like, hour and a half ago.
Yeah, Whom is in the Western time zone, but you would think he's in like an Eastern time zone. He gets up so early. Can you have a lantern? Sure, electric. There's your hug.
Well... It's probably about as close as a Pokemon game can get to gameplay. 'Cause, I mean, it kinda is. But, like, much, much more toned down. Yeah, we'll see.
Did we ever mention that these scratch cards are pretty easy to win jackpots on?
Yeah, because 4 out of 6 of the spaces are, like, it's the space that you need to win on. Also, Duskstone. But,
I think.
yeah.
Oh yeah, really, really Longathon did finally put your your touch screen on view too.
Oh, it's up there now?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, once he sees the Firestone in the shop, it's as good as his because he can just save scum for it. Like once you see it, it won't go away if you save the game, try and then reload, try and reload, try and reload. Thankfully, because I don't know how reliable this would be otherwise.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Then we would have needed like 2 more days to make this recruit 'em all reliable. Reliably finishable. Yeah, obviously as it is, things are tough, but it would be worse. A lot worse. if we weren't doing these scratchers. We'd be, like I said, repeatedly going into like Ragged Mountain, just trying to reset other mini games in town, or desperately trying to unlock black boxes. Like, we don't even really understand the other ways to get these things.
Yeah, all we know is they're definitely slower and they're definitely not worth it.
I'll
Yeah,
quote
so-
Hulk, if I can remember what he said. I can't remember what exactly he said, but he said when Hulk found out about this prize ticket strat, or the scratch off ticket strategy that he didn't know about back when he did a Gates Recruit 'em all. He was like, I had to sell my soul on the street to get those evolution stones. What the hell?
Heart of the Sun.
How much longer left in run? If you mean just gates, it's basically however long it takes to get the Firestone from this scratch ticket, and then however long it takes to get the challenge letters from the job board.
Yeah, so theoretically we
Valiant.
could be done very... Firestone!
Okay! See, theoretically we can be done any second.
Alright, let's try and get it. What great timing.
It's like how Keck is in Sky. It's like everyone watches the grind and is like, man, how long does this take? Well, theoretically, we can be done any second.
Done.
My last recruit 'em all, I was in the middle of describing how hard he was to get, and then I got him.
I wonder when sub 2 Keck is gonna be in Sky.
You mean just the recruit Keck percent category?
Yeah.
It's probably up to you, whom. Unless I get bored someday and have like a couple hours on my hands.
Yeah, there we go, we got the Firestone. Nice.
Alright, done gambling. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that part. Gambling's fun.
Hexer's addiction is finally
It's been fulfilled.
yeah, it's been fulfilled, I guess. Doesn't normally happen with an addiction, but he quits. He quits
Actually,
in any
okay.
case.
Just in case there's another Firestone. Okay, there's not. Because if there was, then I wouldn't even need to go get Flareon. But okay. So yeah, now let's go and get... Hopefully I have a Scorching Desert mission up. I do, awesome. It's
We
only
get
on
to see
4.
a normal recruit in Gates.
Mm-hmm.
Don't see that very often.
Alright, so now I need to change up my team. Also, probably a bunch of other things. Okay, so, we'll bring...
It's so weird seeing all these nicknames everywhere. You're probably used to it now at this point.
a little bit, yeah.
Garb seer, garb poor, garb save.
Some people really don't like the monkeys. Okay, so what else do I need to get out of here? Okay, so I need...
Could I do another exclamation point boss shout out? Alright, there. I hope the ending during Super will be hype. Oh, hey, Xander's here. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. Did I even do exclamation point boss myself? I did, okay. You were commanded by Mozzarella. I didn't want to make it a command. I just, if anything, I got commanded. Oh yeah, that happens, Xander. That happens. You're happy the PMD series Recruitment is happening. Yeah, isn't it great that this is happening just as we discover that this isn't even the full English series anymore?
Really though. It'll still work though.
Yeah.
It might end up being a missed category, but it'll still work.
It happened, and that's what matters. New series. If we were talking about anybody besides whom, I would say never again.
I mean, honestly, I've had a pretty fun time with it so far. Like, besides like the RNG manip stuff not working as like perfectly as I hoped, and the genies, everything about this has been amazing.
It's probably partly nice because you're actually able to have fun with the runs instead of rushing them all.
Yeah.
It's kind of why I liked Sky No Wondermail Recruit them all. Except for Whalelord and Magneton. Holy fuck, those two. I don't understand why Whalelord hates me so much in PMD2. All 3 Recruitimals I've ever done of the game, it has completely fucked me. I can't even get Whalmer anymore.
Alright, let's go get a Flareon.
Floofy.
Oh, there's a Flareon.
Floofeon.
Flareon. There's at least no shortage of them spawning in here.
You donate my I don't. I have enough twigs to do my own names if I want to. But I think I went down the whole list and named everything that I cared to name. That was left anyways. And yeah, Xander, that makes most of this chat.
Also, hey, X-Jet.
I'll mute myself for a bit while I make some food.
Alrighties. Yeah, I'm just gonna be grinding out for Flareon. Yes, we got it. Alright, that's that one done. Alright, so what was our Flareon name? Wow. Alti would be disappointed in you guys. Who's the one that hates Flareon? Okay, so now let's see if we can get that challenge letter. Because if we can get one already, then that's insane. Still nothing, huh? Well, we'll just go to a random spot. But yeah, at this point, there's really not much left to do. Alright, so we need cotton. Minchino. And Lampent. Oh. Yeah, everyone's got their preferences for Pokemon, and it all just depends on what you value more. Oh, and also thank you for the host, Cruel. Whatever reason it didn't show up on Streamlabs, but oh well.
I'm only joking about being mad, by the way. Who dares ping me is a meme. Just like Service Fish and Toto Senpai. Gold!
Also, hey, Cool Boy. And what's up, Cruel? Do it in Discord. Also, oh boy, this Minchino's gonna take a little while. You can't seem to recruit Drillbur in Pokemon Conquest. Also, yes, we do have the genies. But, So, there's a few ways you can recruit it. It might depend on the Pokemon you're using. Like how? Okay, so what are the circumstances that have happened? Killed them within 3 turns and with a super effective move, and neither worked. Interesting, because yeah, super effective I believe should work whenever. So that's kind of strange. Actually, you know what it might be is I'll have to take a look at it. Because it has been a little while since I've looked at Conquest stuff. But I am going to get back into it myself fairly soon. So, I'll try and get you a better answer later. Gates to Infinity is almost done. But as for the whole marathon, we're only halfway done.
Yeah, Gates will be getting, or Poon will be getting back into Conquest very soon, among 100 other games.
Yeah, I don't know about getting it from other than that fight. That is interesting.
And yeah, I guess it is pretty safe to say that we're like halfway done, roughly. Sky has a lot of variance with how long it takes. Super is pretty consistent. The only inconsistency with Super is whatever happens as a result of whom's blindness. And you know how to play the game, so.
I know how to play Super, but I have no clue about post-game.
Yeah, it's generally a lot easier. I think there's really only problems when you let your guard down, or for like maybe some of the early missions. Like if you if you get a mission that requires battling certain enemies, kind of have to have items for that, or they kind of whoop your butt. Shout out to like the 3 Aerodactyl that spam Hyper Beam. Which, oh my god, Hyper Beam's animation is hilarious in Super. You can actually teach it to Flygon too, just to try it yourself. It's unfortunately just a really dangerous move too, because it has an area of effect explosion that can damage you and allies nearby when it hits. But oh my god, Hyper Beam is hilarious in Super. If you don't use it yourself, the first time an enemy hits you with it, you'll shit yourself. At least with the Yveltal, you can expect a pretty devastating attack. Hyper Beam just comes out of nowhere. Hyper Beam is something.
Yeah, can't wait to see that.
I'm pretty sure there had to have been at least a couple dungeons in my Super 100% on really, really long-a-thon where I deliberately ran around spamming it for a little bit. I wish that move could be optimal to use, but it's sadly... Well, I guess it is really strong when you first get it. Losing a turn when using it and having to be far away from the enemy that you use it on, because otherwise you'll kill yourself, is kind of a problem. It's that explosive. I'm pretty sure it can even recoil on the user of the move.
Dang. It's actually kind of nuts.
It also destroys walls.
I knew about the walls part, but yeah, dang.
Yeah, you probably have seen it before, but still, actually experiencing it.
Yeah, I feel like I vaguely remember seeing it, but yeah. But yeah, we're at a point where there's only 2 things I need to do in this game. And they're both challenge letters. What in the world? Actually, can I just delete the first letter of a name in Sky? I feel like that might be possible. That might make it a bit easier than having to delete the entire name just to get rid of the G.
Actually, yeah, I think the L and R buttons let you move the cursor. If not, I think you can just tap the name on the touchscreen and move the cursor that way. I'm not sure. There has to be a way. Try the L and R buttons. Hell, they even implemented the insert and overwrite keyboard mechanisms for the purpose of making it easier to modify already typed up names. Rather overkill for how few applications it has in the game, but they did it. It's more useful for Wondermail, I guess.
I wasn't 100% sure if I had enough choice seeds but I think I do. So
It wasn't necessarily laziness, people. It is realistically possible that Braviary is going to take a little bit more work.
which luckily we did have enough choice seeds.
Like for this game, specifically only wanted to... Okay, there we go. He only wanted to mark things as blue if they were basically as good as recruited, like right there. Like he had the items for all the other things. As you can see. It was kind of just a reminder marking to use an item for him.
Mm-hmm.
Other games he treats it differently, like with Sky. Well, actually, I guess with Sky we get the Meowoo tracker, which does the same thing. It'll mark things that are gonna get evolved.
Alright, just 2 Pokemon left. Let's see if we can find them.
Does Keldio's mini sprite look like a Rapidash with a clown mane? I don't really think so. But I don't know. So shout out to grinding challenge letters. I hope this doesn't take the entire time I have left before I have to go to work. Because I want to commentate at least a little bit of Sky. You know, my least favorite game in the world that I know a lot about. Maybe it's a good thing that I probably won't be here for Hidden Land. Because then we would probably just hear the sounds of my mic shattering. Poison is indeed 40 damage in RTDX. Every 40 turns. Oh. That's a lot!
Dang, yeah, that is very weird.
Even original poisoning would, like, only hit every, like, 10 turns, I want to say? Allegedly, you do regenerate health in between, but still, that's kind of frightening, because that means while poisoned, you'll just frequently be knocked down to low health. You don't think you do? Oh. I remember it being said that you did regen, but it was also Arrow that said that, and he often says false things, so...
I need to...
Oh, you didn't get to see poison on yourself. Okay, yeah, is there even a way to get poisoned? Where can you find a Recruitment guide for BRT and Red Rescue Team? Speedrun.com. I believe Whom has one there.
It should be up there, yeah.
I should really upload the super guide, huh? Because then we can finally have an uploaded recruit 'em all for every game.
Well, we'd have to find the stairs on all the floors, not just one, whereas we can escape orb and leave immediately. But yeah, just gotta keep waiting until those challenge missions show up.
Yeah, even if you run out of escape orbs, you could always just deposit all your items and do classic give up strats.
Yeah, that's true. Need be, I can do that. Actually, let's take ones where I don't have, like, the first floor to change.
I have a feeling that for things that were, like, way over the top, stupidly tedious, they're gonna change the way recruiting them works for modernization purposes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if they did that.
Not to mention, they're completely removing save scumming, so...
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it's not like I ever really did it in BRT, but still.
Yeah, you're already used to not save scumming BRT. If there's a Sky remake, I hope that they change the way the Reggies work if they're gonna implement that, because oh god. The Reggies without save scumming in Sky would be like the worst recruits in the series.
Yeah, I wonder what they'll even do with Kecleon now.
Oh god. Yeah, honestly, with regards to routing, the lack of save scumming sounds awfully terrifying. Because, like, if we do anything risky while routing, then we'd have to do hours of work just to get back to where we were. And, like, am I just going to end up homebrewing my Switch just so I can route? Up 100%
Oh, tracking.
runs. Okay, sweet.
We got one. First, I almost just skipped through it because I didn't even realize it. Alright, let me make sure I've got my items ready. I only have one Reviver Seed on me, but I also have an All Protect Orb, so I should be fine. So yeah, after... It's been quite a while, we're finally back to playing Gates again. Not doing gambling or just skateboarding and leveling up things.
I guess it's nice that we get to finish with actual gameplay.
Yeah. It would be interesting if they made, like, one of the new recruits just a lot worse or something. I don't even know how far I need to get. I didn't actually check.
It's a mystery. You wonder if they'll still do troll recruits like they do in Tiny Woods. Probably.
I feel like they will, yeah. Yeah, I bet the remade version of Sky Tower is gonna be pretty cool.
I was thinking about that earlier. I'm really excited to hear remakes of some of the songs. Apparently they, Chunsoft knew. They wiped all the songs from the demo. Make sure we wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, that's pretty smart, to be honest.
Yeah, they learned from Sun Moon's mistake. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's kind of funny, like, I've expressed so much hate towards Rescue Team, and yet I'm so excited for a remake. But I reiterate, much of my hate towards any game in the series is pretty much just from Speedrun.
That is very
Except for
true.
Destiny Tower and Sky, fuck that. Can't even do that casually.
Also, yeah, this is definitely the most underrated PMD game in the series, besides, like, maybe... Well, I can't really say anything about WiiWare, but this one's definitely the most underrated.
There are still a small handful of people that have actually played WiiWare. and do kind of defend it, actually, especially Levin.
Mm.
Hellick used to defend WiiWare too, but then he tried routing the speedrun of it, and he was like, this is dumb, I quit.
Yeah, mission grinding.
Yeah. Mission grinding in PMD, man, that's never happened before. Can't wait for Super. The only instance where I'll say that sarcastically. Because holy shit, the mission grinding in Super.
The mission grinding
I'm
is such a
hoping-
give up strats.
Yeah, it is better than give up strats. It is. The missions are really fun in Super at first. Like, just actually doing missions in it instead of the give up strats is refreshing. That's one of my favorite things about doing 100% of it. It does eventually get pretty grating, which is exactly why I spread out grinding between doing other fun stuff, specifically in the route, just so it doesn't get too grating.
That's fair.
Because you could just literally spend an entire day doing mission grinding, and I feel like it would get even more tiresome than like the dojo grind in BRT.
Yeah, I probably could split it up, but like I don't know. I'm more used to it just being like all at once, so I know where to go.
The dojo grind is so repetitive that it gets to be chill in its own right.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas with the missions and Super, you still have to focus and go to different places constantly. Generally, from my experience, the only time it's really been painful is the very end, where you have like 3 hours back to back of it to do, and there's not really a way around it.
99 hours. RTA at
Oh, yeah,
least.
99 hours. One more hour. I am going to leave basically exactly when we hit 100 hour hype. That's funny.
Actually, okay, I should probably start setting up Sky. Question is, should I get the starter portrait ready beforehand, or should I do it like as soon as I finish gates?
I mean, do you think you want to do a WR attempt with all these nicknames?
I probably shouldn't, to be honest. So yeah, maybe it would be best to. Well, I don't know. But we
Sky
indeed made the
Drapion
game.
Bob. I love the randomness.
Sky is gonna be on Wii U. So it's gonna be the same layout that I had for Blue Rescue Team.
I meant to mute myself the whole time I was doing all this. I apologize if the sounds of packaging have been a bit grating for the last few minutes. Don't know how much has come through.
Yeah, I guess I'll wait until we're on like I'll actually grind out the quiz on stream. Which hopefully won't take too long, because that could be a bad idea or it could be fine.
It should theoretically be fine. It's not that hard to get sassy. But we've also both had it take like 10 tries, and it sucks when that happens.
Yeah.
I wonder if I still remember the 5 questions that we need to know off the top of my head. I could help save time in doing that by just telling you to reset if I can remember for sure.
Oh, shoot.
that's interesting. Installing a browser when you have no browser in the first place. That sounds fun. It's still probably not that hard, but I actually don't know what I would do. I'm so used to just having a browser. Oh, hi, Rob. We're done gambling. He just needs to get the last challenge letter, and is completing one of the challenges right now.
Another monster house? Dang, I've actually gotten a lot this run. Or at least in this, like, visit through the dungeon. Also, yes, in Companion Mode 2. Took a while, but I finally found one.
And basically, Web, he can just die over and over and over again. Or escape orb over and over and over again.
Yeah. Alright, let's fight Terrakion. Look at him. He's so big. I mean, not as big as a lot of the other Pokemon in this game.
How come Verizian's in the story and not me? I'm gonna retaliate.
What's he?
With a wall of me and Shao.
Alright, he died. Dang, that was, a bit anticlimactic.
Good fight.
Also, okay, so we said time ends on what, the save?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll remember that for Cobalion.
Thought that was anticlimactic. Wait till you see the legendary beasts in Sky. Especially the way we do them with Wondermail.
Oh yes, what is the name of this thing? Terracotta. Oh, are you kidding? Okay. Oh, wait.
Terracotta.
Was it? Oh, shoot. So wait, for the time end, it didn't actually save after I got, Terrakion. So, do I just do it on next day or something?
I guess. I wish I could remember, but I feel like we were aiming for more series consistency at this point.
So, just, like, save after?
I guess.
Alright.
I honestly don't remember.
We'll retime it later.
Yay, retiming this run.
That'll be fun. Also, dang,
Oh,
quite
well.
the boss going.
Nothing would be harder than retiming Hellskate's run. Did you see how much shit I went through to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Time stops when Crabgrave starts playing. Yeah, at least you have timers up that are consistent with your VOD time because your stream isn't going down every 5 minutes. But at least you have a gameplay timer instead of just RTA. Yeah, Hulk really liked playing Crabgrave on stream with Gates. Even for a 10-hour loop.
Mysterious distortion. Oh no.
Are we gamering gamers? We're about to be playing Sky. Just need one more thing from this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dang. This is likely going to be a sub 29 Gates run. Despite the genius.
Yeah, shout out to Gates being ironically like this. Well, I don't know if it's ironic or not, but it is the shortest recruit of all. Maybe BRT can be shorter though.
With the manips, yeah, maybe.
This game can also definitely be shorter, you know, with without having to go extremely out of way for the genies. Is Gates as short as rescue team in terms of plot? No. It is 3 times longer. To speedrun. You're gonna be a Torterra before the end of this marathon. I am still but an ace. With most of my points still originating from Recruitamalls, and I guess the trend continues to this day.
Yeah, they are definitely the most broken ones.
Boss.
Okay, I only got one more escape orb after this. So hopefully we get that challenge later. Because the sooner we get it, the sooner we're done.
The sooner I can commentate Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Go on all of my obligatory rants. Kind of funny though. I am going to miss like basically the entire encompass of any percent. Which kind of sucks because that's probably one of the parts where I could be the most helpful in the event of a mistake. But I guess at least I should catch, I should be able to catch recruiting service fish.
That's good.
Tomorrow morning, I guess, is probably when you're gonna get the kek. So I'll be here for kek spam, then maybe a little bit of service fish action, depending on how long kek takes. Otherwise, I'm gonna miss a lot of service fish action, but I guess there will still be tomorrow night and then the morning after. And yeah, you have to beat Darkrai and Sky REA. At some point, you have to progress the story. You need to beat Darkrai so you can unlock Marine Resort at all. And also, you have to beat him so that you can recruit inside Dark Crater. Both dungeons have Pokemon that you have to get. You can only get them in those respective places.
And now we're just gonna have to do give up strats for a little bit.
Do we get the Pikachu rant? If you want. Now I can even speak from first-hand experience, having done a run with it.
True, I wasn't able to see that run, because I was doing other stuff.
Wasn't as bad as expected, because I got a Brick Break TM, which is extremely helpful for Pikachu. But oh boy.
My carry items are never lost. What the heck? I want to get rid of those boxes. I can't store them.
Oh, Gates, the over-generous game. Wait, what do you mean you can't store your boxes?
I'm out of space to store them.
Oh.
Of like the treasure boxes at least, not like the
I didn't
main
know there was
storage.
limited space there. That's funny.
Huh, can I actually leave from this thing? Oh yeah, I can. Neat. So actually that means I can probably do Ragged Mountain. Your carried items were not lost again. Somehow. You're really good at holding on to those boxes, aren't you, Haxorus?
I like my boxes! Don't judge me!
Dang, still nothing, huh?
I'll give up on the adventure, but I'll never give up on my boxes! Hexers, you really don't get along well with Rampardos, do you? No! What kind of dinosaur breaks boxes for a living? What's wrong with him?
It's a living. He's doing what he loves to do.
Hexers, you'd be even better at that though. You have an axe on your head. I could never. I like my boxes the way they are.
Yeah, we're basically just
Thus-
looking for a mission. That's all that's left to do in this game. But to cycle it, we're just cycling the days like this.
And thus Haxor's moved on to have a pet service box. It must never be taken to Rampardos' shop. or Clefties, or Zatus.
There's so many of these boss challenges, but they're not bosses.
Funny right, funny left, funny central.
What even?
That's who is this community. They're better at directions than me. I couldn't give these directions.
Yeah, I think for the luck light, we're still just waiting on this this challenge letter.
So I love how their way of formatting the mission menu so that there could be a separation of brightness between missions to tell them apart. Literally just involved drawing black lines on the background, which you could see on the top screen as you're doing stuff. PMD Discord has a lot of members in it now, but Shelter. It's a pretty good name for it, especially since it is kind of a troll recruit in PMD too.
Oh yeah, it's one of the low percents, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 2% in Surrounded Sea. I think you can barely get spawn rate abuse on it, if at all, but it's very unlikely to happen, so you usually end up brute forcing at 2%. And of course, it's very common in Beach Cave, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. Beach Cave has Kabuto, has, I think, Corsola. Has definitely Shellos. I want to say Shelter was the last.
Imagine being able to recruit in Beach Cave.
Yeah. Yeah, and they put
Chameleon.
the blue Shellos in Beach Cave. Hey! Gates can finally be done soon!
Okay. Let's
Bondly
get through this. Alright, let's get some items out.
We're finally almost done with Gates.
Alright, we'll go with this. Let's go.
I really can't believe this Gates run took almost as long as your blind run that had far less to use for Wondermail.
Yeah, like the genies really messed me up.
Yeah. That is ridiculous. Kind of a scary precedent for Sky, but you do at least have plenty of time still, so. Like, since you're not doing super 100%, you can for sure do that in 2 days.
Awesome.
You might even, if you were doing 100%, you might even be able to beat my PB if Alti's strats are good for missions. Because I just remembered, actually, you're going to be the first person to do a super, well, I guess recruit them all. That
Yeah,
features Altissimo's new mission strats of making more missions spawn later, which might help a lot.
Well, I guess if I have time at the end, I could just do 100% just so I can like put my time on that board.
I'm whom is this? I have all the world records. Yeah, you actually would have WR on all 4 recruitables with that. And you have WR on all 4, no Wondermails. Then the only thing missing would be Super Wondermail. Which, God forbid.
Yeah, I've also got to do time with Wondermail.
I think if I'm that thoroughly trounced, I'm just gonna quit competing entirely.
Oof.
I won't even try with RTDX. I'll just route.
Dang. And don't worry, someday all our times are gonna be made obsolete.
What makes you say that?
I mean...
Or is that just a general speedrunning statement?
Yeah, in general.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, people will definitely get better at the games.
Yeah, I need some help to compete with you. I kinda can't. I don't have enough time to do it alone. I also don't know if I'll ever have time to do runs longer than 2 days. Since I have a full-time job. However, I do have an interesting plan of just doing those runs anyways, but doing them, like, essentially segmented. Or in a way that wouldn't be valid on the boards, that would essentially be, like, taking tons and tons of breaks. Just for the purpose of routing Sky, No Wondermail, Recruit them all as well as I can. The only way I can ever have time to do that run again is if I take vacation days very specifically for that purpose.
Yeah, it's fair.
Maybe earlier this year I would have had some opportunities, but I didn't feel like taking them. Now I truly cannot do that run anymore. Big sad too, because I really want to. Even though I know it won't be as fun the second time. In fact, it would probably be really frustrating the second time because I want to actually do better. But I could just get fucked bad enough that I wouldn't even PB. Like, I still had a 40-minute Kekleon in my first recruit 'em all. I don't remember having too much trouble with any of the 7 treasures or secret slabs. The main thing I could save time with on that is knowledge. If you only need Cabalion anyway, why do you do F10 dungeons? Because, Andy, just getting the mission to appear at all is the real scary part. Once we get the mission, we're not going to pick and choose one that's faster. We're just going to take it.
Yeah, no, it took me a lot of, like, cycling the job board to finally get a Cabalion mission in general.
Yeah, bear in mind, there's a reason this is the last thing that's being done. That wasn't by intent at all. It's because it really was. It took this long to get the mission to appear. Yeah, this is the Cabalion. Oh, you thought he was still grinding for it. Okay, no, he's actually doing the mission right now.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like, I was just using give-up strats to eventually get it. So I didn't even do any dungeons.
Yeah, thank goodness for give up strats. You hope Cabalion got a good name.
Well...
I don't know, man.
I mean,
I think we're not on a good track record with names.
I'll be honest, with this name it actually makes a lot of sense for where I'm at in terms of, like, Gates' placement in this run. Because it's named halfway.
Huh. That's funny. Wonder why it was named that.
I'm not entirely sure what the original intent was, but it worked out in another way. Oh, did a Bravery pick up a Pure Seed? I didn't even notice.
Oh, hey, they're burning Messiah. Yeah, end of gates. Ugh, okay. Literally on the last mission of the run. We finally have a relatively definitive ending here.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
And then Pure Ugly makes things more tedious.
That's why Health Orb. At this point, I could just Health Orb at the start of every floor from now on.
Shout out to Health Orb. Yeah, there's only one Pokemon left to go, and who's on his way to get it? Wow, I'm not even top 20 in points anymore. Holy shit! This is really this run is really shifting things here. Health Orb is a fantastic item. Upon usage, you become immune to all stat drops and status ailments for the remainder of the floor or until you die. It also heals all status ailments and stat drops upon usage, and it affects your entire party. They are a blessed item from Gates.
It's basically the most broken item I've ever seen in a PMD game.
Yeah, besides Guiding Wands. But yeah, they are a nice item. And they're still in RTDX, although who knows, they might be extremely rare, like how they are in Super. This is the only game where they're like everywhere.
They are extremely common in this game, it's nuts. Oh.
Yeah, there's an any percent series race right after this.
Yep.
And then he has to do Rumble collect them all. And then he's doing Pokemon series again.
There seems to be someone up ahead. Alright, let's finish this.
Gates is done, Crab Ray. Also, wall of, oh, it's me and Xiao again. I thought they had a wall of Conkeldurr.
I feel like that was the case as well at one point.
Dang, that was funnier because it actually looked like a wall.
Wait, did they get rid of my All Protect or something? That was weird. Oh well, there we go.
Doesn't seem they're being particularly threatening.
So yeah, where should we end time for Gates? Because I forget.
I don't know. Save the game.
Alright. There we go. Game number 2 complete, which means it's time to get Sky ready.
99.5 hours in, we're halfway done. Roughly.
80% portion. Alright, Sky. Gabalion looks like it wants to join your team. Yes.
Oh no, we forgot the box. Poor Hexerus. Oh well, Hexerus can retire now, it's okay. He'll have time to go back and get the box.
Ah. There. Now we have all of them. Okay. So, let's make sure that we have all of them with Chinchino.
Oh, I forgot about exclamation point GG. Also, hi Tyan. Oh yeah, so this is the in-game Pokedex. And it functions a lot like a regular Pokedex. Yeah, Rob, please join VC as soon as you can, because
There we go.
I have to go soon.
That is all of them. Alright, so let's move on to Sky.